of coffee, don't I?
Yeah, or your third shift.
It is my third shift. I got my first shift. Actually, I got more. I got wake up, kids with the kids. That's the shift. Then I gotta go to my second shift, which is eight, 9, maybe like 9 hours. And then I come back to this, which is another couple, it's like 3, 4 hours. And then I do it all again.
I'm on the same page, minus the kids. I'm so delirious. I was about to drink with the cap on.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You ain't actually put in no work unless you drink it with the cap on. Now, that's the saying for sure. All right, man. Can we get to it?
Yeah, man. I actually want I want you to talk about why we're doing it this format, so that way we're on the same page, can tackle the topics and kind of proceed with a sense of normality. So I mean, why this way?
Honestly, just being uh, efficient and just optimizing because you and I talk anyways every day about what's going on in the business, what's going on around the business, what's going to happen in the future. And so if we have those conversations every day, might as well just record them just to let us know, let others know what's going on and that there is something going on. So that's mainly the main reason. And this has kind of all been morphing, right? Every day, like day by day, it's been morphing towards what we want it to look like. And actually, that's kind of like the conversation around today is what we're going to be cutting off, what are we going to be pursuing, as we hone in on the 20% that makes us the 80% of, of our progress, of our, what would you call that? It's the meat and potatoes, man, the meat and potatoes. So, yeah, I got some talking points here. Do you want to say anything else other than that?
No, no. Let's hit those talking points, man.
Okay, cool. And just try to forget that the camera's here. I know I can I call you out real quick?
Yeah, man, talk to me.
Yeah, I already slightly feel that the camera's here.
I mean, it's hard not to. The camera is recording my head. Yeah.
Well, just pretend like it ain't.
The thoughts that go through my mind.
Yeah.
It's dark in this room. I got these big old earphones in.
Yeah.
It's not enough light. How do I sound? Mic check. Like, I'm over here in my head louder than I should be. But I'm here, man.
I
I'm
think
present.
I think you need more reps because you need to be way more exhausted than. No, I was playing. No, it really was. You know that it's just more reps of it. Curse you for being a perfectionist and that, you know, being your curse. It's like, okay, cool. There's worse things, right? Worst things that you can have. So kudos to you for actually caring in a good amount. But let me see. Let me read down the list real quick. Oh, I wanted to know: are you taking regularly scheduled breaks in your sessions that you have, your cold calling sessions?
Yeah, I have to. It looks like 20-minute increments where I'll just go for a walk around my community, so that way I'm not just absorbing all of this computer bright lights. My eyes can kind of recalibrate. My sense of why comes back.
Okay. Do you feel
The
like
last
that? Do you feel like that resets you, or that just kind of helps? Maybe not reset you totally, but like gets your fuse longer for when you have to take the next break, or for when you feel like you have to end the work cycle.
Yeah, it gives me a marker to celebrate. It doesn't give me more life to come back to the job and do this. It just gives me a placeholder of almost there. And it's not like when we first started where I say, okay, I'm gonna do an hour, I'm gonna take 25, come back, and then we'll just like, because we would, at that time when we were doing this, we had it live streaming. Basically, we could hold each other accountable. But now it's just me working, and so I'm not looking at it as I'm gonna spend an hour on this and then I'm gonna jump off. I'm like, as soon as I get to 10 contacts, I know I'm halfway. I'm walking out. So now it's only like so many hours I'm in front of the computer, but I'm taking,
It's tied to the context, though, not to the time spent. Okay.
like we talked about earlier.
Right. So maybe like tying it, like we said earlier, is going to be like a big leverage point that once you activate that, it's more like, hey, I spent X amount of time doing this. Now I can take a break.
Yeah, I have to get past, and I say this a lot. I realize I say a lot of the like the feel goods, the quotes that sound right. I say a lot of that stuff often, like, "Oh yeah, just go." Oh, like, don't worry about it. Just do the job. Take your breaks. Um, good things will come and all this kind of stuff. But I do have to recalibrate at some point and ask the like questions to myself, like, am I doing this right? Am I focused on the right things? So
Yeah, let's make it easy for you to do it because what's like just be transparent here because you're not this type of person anymore, so don't be embarrassed about it. But how long could you play video games for? Like an entire session? What's the longest you ever been?
don't embarrass me now.
Mine was like 6 to
6
8
hours.
hours. Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say because that's embarrassing. As you hear it and you understand what the time means, its
That's
value.
that's fine though, because that's not who we are today. So
Oh, I mean,
let's be that
yeah,
like in a way where if you could do that every single day, I'm sure you would find a way to be able to do that every single day playing video games. So I guess the goal here is, and the question is centered around how do we get you to be in that same flow state, in that same level of happiness, that same level of dopamine, that same level of comfort? Like, what do those look like? Like we can reverse engineer it and say, why do you think, Roger, you were able to sit there for such a long time and play video games? Like, what was one thing that contributed to enabling you to do that?
I don't know. There was nothing about everybody's got their reason why video games are like stimulating for them. Some people like achievements. Some people like the ability to control
Well, screw
something.
some people. What do you like?
Dude, I don't.
Really think
I,
about it. Really
I
think
I
about it.
can try, but as soon as I hit a wall, then it's like that's when I jump off. So the thought is that when I would play the game, it's because I could achieve something unique. Not that I couldn't, but that I wanted to try something. And I was always trying something new within the confines of the thing. The thing was, for example, a basketball game where there's not so much new things you can do. It's just that, are you going to do it? Are you going to do this time? Are you going to dunk on that person? Are you going to shoot that three? How many shoot threes are you going to shoot? It's like there's no stopping you from doing something. It's just the creativity around it. So it was an extra stimulant for me because I was able to express creativity within the confines of a video game that I have full control over, and the mistakes were not life threatening. There was a pressure on the stake, but I was the center of that universe, so it really didn't matter other than how I felt.
Okay, and what did you get? What did you actually get from it?
Control.
In what way?
Because once you walk in the way that I did this, like the phrase, I made 30 points. There is no I want to say that there's something like cool or meaningful here, but there isn't. It's just the ability to have control over something that sometimes in life you feel like there's not enough control over your own life. And so you have control over this. I can do this. I did it, therefore it's done, and it's cuz I did it. And I don't know what it means to anybody else, but that's what it means to me.
Yeah.
But as it relates to work, the ability to do the job because I can do that, because I can do 3 hours or 4 hours or however many hours of dial time. I can talk to 30 people, 40 people if I decided. It's the same thought pattern, but the embarrassment or the humbleness of it may look different. Where I might suffer humility over a video game in quiet. No one has to look at me, no one has to judge me. But in reality, when I make a phone call and that person says no, like how dare you? Or you're stupid for calling me. Oh wow, this is all realtors do? This is all you guys do? Isn't this humiliating? Like all the nasty things that people would say.
Mm-hmm.
I have to actually take that on they take that hit on the chin in my mind, get over it because they don't mean anything to me and I don't mean anything to them, and get to the next call with the same mindset as before, minus the negative information that was just given me.
Okay.
So the stakes are a little bit higher if you care about humility or if you care about being embarrassed.
Is there anything else besides that? Because that is a big one for sure, what you just said. But if we could pull something else out, are you as comfortable physically making the calls, body, physiology wise, like making the cold calls versus when you're playing a video game?
I don't know if I'm going to answer it right, but I'm going to answer it the way I heard it. I get a sense of warmth, of like a low flame in my body when I'm getting ready to play a video game that I'm eager to play.
Yeah, that's like dopamine.
Getting ready for phone calls is like drinking cold water. I'd much rather drink room temp, and it's refreshing to drink cold water, but sometimes it hurts my teeth.
Yeah.
That was that was a little strange. That's my perception.
Was it strange? I mean, it was a perfect analogy.
Somebody's gonna listen to this.
Nah, I think 99% of people are gonna agree with you. Oh yeah, because at first I was like, cold water, that's good. But in reality, I don't really prefer cold water over room temperature water, only because for me, like I could drink a lot more room temperature water quicker. So, nah, the analogy was good. I'm just thinking around it, like how could we make cold calls more into room temperature? It's just in my head, I was thinking that
Wow.
for me, it was more of like for me, it's more of a comfort thing when it comes to making cold calls. Like if I were to try to make myself do cold calls, I would try to sit down in a more comfortable chair. I would have to have like a walking treadmill thing on my desk, a standing desk. For me, it'd be a comfort thing, and that's where I want to maximize everything for myself. But after asking you questions, you don't even seem to really care as much about that as you do about everything else, about the mental part of it. And so I'm just kind of like coming to terms with it internally, and like finding it fascinating more than anything else.
Yeah, man. It's you wanna know the hard part about being in business in general is having to look yourself in the mirror and identify the weak parts of you and ask yourself, am I gonna change it? Like you have to do something about the business, but you have to be honest about it. Look yourself in the mirror. And if you can't be honest with yourself, then like who are you gonna be honest with? So the hard part, keeping it real. Keeping it real with yourself on where your downfalls are, addressing them, not taking yourself too seriously, but at the same time taking yourself serious enough to fix the problems quick. Because life is still gonna happen.
Exactly.
Things are still going to be waiting for you. Like that mortgage does not stop because you're having difficulty treading in your marketplace or in your business.
Yeah, that's
That
right.
mortgage is still on the way. Whatever bills is on the way.
That's true. Okay, so let's tie that all together then. Let's actually find a solution live right here, right now. We already found a solution to the breaks and to the just like the psychological, like zooming out on the entire session. We agreed earlier before this call that it'd probably be a little bit better to be time focused than it would where to be conversational contacts metric focused. And so that solved that one. I think that's the major one. Now, how could we gamify it for you? That way you can achieve those novel goals just like you do when you're playing a game.
I think that in the world of sports, because you know what the stats are and you know what is normal and like the confines of what is awesome and what is bare minimum, you could you can go in and approach a video game with the idea of I want to remain within the caliber of normal because it's more realistic. Or if I want to be excellent, I have to do more than what's normal. So if 25 points a game is it's awesome, but still pretty normal for an NBA star, then I want to make 32 points a game, Kobe, Michael Jordan type numbers for the season. That means that I have to score an average of 32 points a game per game. Even if I don't score 32 points that game, this is what we were talking about today. Even if I don't score 32 points this game, I should be okay because I scored 45 the other day. Or I had a Kobe night and scored 61. But I mean, sometimes even those numbers are not the numbers you're aiming for. Maybe you do need an 81, another supreme Kobe night. But that's why there's only one person that's doing things like that. Getting back to whatever it is, real estate is if my contacts per day, as it relates to points on the board, should look like 20 averaging. That's what an average agent should be able to do. An average agent should be able to score 20 contacts. What does it take to get 20 contacts? It takes about 150 to 200 calls per day.
We did say
What
we are
does
going
that mean?
away from that model though of looking at just contacts. So would you be okay with tying it down with a specific amount of time? And what if I told you that from what I'm seeing from the group that we're in, of all of the agents that are performing on the level that we want to perform at, that the number is actually between 4 to 5 hours active calling, is what I mean. And all the like follow up and administrative stuff, that's another 2 to 3 hours. What do you think about that? Those numbers.
They should be done. We'll deal with the results when they get here. Um, and the idea of business is not trying to be mediocre. So, question of what do you want? Do you want mediocre? Because you can still do 20 contacts and be. The market is too. The market is too. You have to pick you got to pick your spots. If the market is saying that selling a home is a little bit more difficult, it takes a very particular seller willing to participate with the market, then that means that I have to shovel out X amount of calls so that when I do get a seller, um, I have another chance of getting more sellers that are going to be favorable of the market rather than just getting sellers in the pipeline. Because the seller that's for the market, they're a little harder to find. Anybody can
Yeah.
be a seller, but who's the person that got their home sold? And that's the person that was in the market, working with the market.
Yeah. And to zoom in on my half of it, I'm going to probably say it this way. In the morning, dedicate an hour to the content, whatever that means, whether it's the newsletter, because I write the newsletters, whether that's the editing these videos, whether that's creating shorts, whatever it is, anything content and of substance, I'll be working on that every day in the morning for a minimum of an hour. And then later in the evening, I could definitely commit 4 to 5 hours, 4 being at least. That's what I've been doing, is like 4 hours at least in the afternoon, an hour in the morning. Sometimes I go 5 hours in the evening. So I could definitely do that. And the ending portion is going to be setting up automations and back end validation of our systems, as well as any follow-ups with any problems that you might have with the systems. That way I make sure that you are getting what you need. And so I wanted to let you know that, just so that you know what my personal direction is. And also, I want your opinion on anything. How does that look to you? Would you want to see anything else happen? Oh, and I left out the 30 minutes of 30 minutes to an hour of calls if I can. Like I really want that to be in there, but as you know, uh, as of lately at least, it's been a little bit unsure of scheduling, only because of due to like traffic and stuff. But it should level off here pretty soon. So I'm gonna shoot to join you on the calls as well. But back end takes some time too.
That's why my mouth is closed, because you already have something going on. You take on a responsibility in the morning and then in the evening. That's our Even if you spent 2 hours doing this, that's a lot of time and a lot of energy and effort. And so it's a commendable thing. All I can do is talk about what I'm going to do. And all I can say as far as the goals that we're outlining is August is going to look interesting. And August is going to look interesting because of the goals that we're putting up right now. Because we started in June with goals, took it into effect in July. It's July 31st, and I'm reflecting on those goals and how they pushed our analytics and how we've achieved appointments and how we've built relationships with people because of our performance. And all of it is ringing true. So we only have one direction to go in. And a lot of the weight is on me, but a lot of the weight is on me about things that I was going to do no matter what. So it's an idea of get over it. It's an idea of if you're not doing it anyway, you were lacking to begin with. So
A lot of what weight? Like just the front end work?
no, the weight of the responsibility that I might be feeling. The weight that I'm talking about is you feel like that's a lot of work. Oh, that's funny because that's the thing that you were supposed to do. Or if you wanted these results, this is where you have to be at, and you're doing this. So whatever that feeling is, if it's, man, well, I don't want to be the only one, or oh, like whatever that pain is, whatever it is a doubt. It's a feeling of kicking and screaming and protest. But the protest is about growing up. The protest is about being responsible. The protest is about, man, I wish it was just spoon fed instead of having to do it this way. But that's the separation, the great separation between winners and losers. So that's why I don't got much to say. The want to protest. How you feeling about all of this stuff now?
Feeling good. I'm just trying to look to see what else we have that I wanted to go over, but that kind of knocked out a couple all in one. Let me see.
You think that this is the format that will be taken every day moving forward?
Yeah, that's actually the last thing on my list is content cadence. I want to do something every day. And so if this is it, then this is it.
You know what? Can I complement that thought with something that it's the same thing, but I don't want to cut you off. You want to finish your thought?
Yeah, I was even thinking maybe I could do it from my drive at 4 o'clock, 4:30. And that way I'm burning a time that I'm not going to get back anyways. And at the same time, because dude, like this, what we're doing now is it's not going to be sustainable at this time. It's not going to be sustainable every single day. When I just got done finishing, like when I get home, I'm going to do calls and then I'm going to initiate the 4 hours. So it's like, this is not going to just magically fit in there. So we're going to have to find the time. And if I have to be at first driving, then maybe that's the direction we have to go. And I'll be doing a lot of traveling coming in a couple months. In the coming months, I should say. It's going to be like 1 week a month. And I'll be going like to Oregon for a week at a time. And so I'll have some time to do a whole lot more. in my opinion, because I'm not going to be doing a lot of traveling. When I'm out there, I'm not going to be doing a lot of driving from place to place. That takes a long time. That's what I mean to say.
Okay. So we'll find what regular is within this, and whether I'm behind this camera or on a walk, or you're behind the camera or on a
Hmm.
drive, we'll make something of this regularly.
Yeah. How does that fit in though with your schedule? Can you see it happening at 4:30 ish, 4:15?
Yeah, dude. I don't see why not.
Yeah, then we could do that. We could shoot for that. And it's just gonna be what it is. I mean, I have some reserves about doing it from the car, but you know, you got to do what you got to do.
I don't think it would stop whatever we plan on doing. If the spirit of this is to show somewhat of, like, kind of the spirit of the text that you sent me earlier, the hero's journey. If the spirit of this is to show what is it that is happening for people that are in this field to make something happen, you get to see it firsthand. You get to see it in a real way, a raw way, and put respect behind the people that you're talking to in the field that are experts in their craft, that have built the relationships, went through thousands of buyers and sellers, gaining experiences through the market, through the good markets and the bad markets. This is the hero's journey, and you get to bear witness.
Yeah, man. All right, you said you did have to go, so I don't want to step on your time. Um, got a couple nuggets that I learned not too long ago from video around school with Alex Hermosi and the creator of school, which is what's the name, Sam Ovens or something like that. But yeah, you got a minute for me to share that with you?
Yeah, sure, man. What's up?
Okay, speed run then. So basically, Alex said that content should look like a mosaic of your everyday life in order to win at it, just to show that your authenticity. So like if you go throughout your day and you're analyzing, hey, I'm on social media looking at XYZ content, and that was about 1% of my day. Then I go spend some time with my family, that's 10%. Then I go to this location, or I go for walks, that's this percentage. So like take all those elements and make that fit the percentage of things you talk about on your social media.
Oh, I see what you're saying. It's a microcosm.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like that's what you want to shoot for when you're like, oh, what should I talk about? It's like those things. Because people don't care about this whole format of people teaching you something unless you actually like did something spectacular. But that could easily be replaced with this authenticity of like, hey, look, yeah, I actually do like to go for walks, and I walk around this neighborhood, and I noticed this on a walk, or crazy thing, or when I call people, this is what happens on a walk, or whatever. It might seem like a simple thing, but there's other people out there doing the same thing, and they might be thinking those same thoughts and haven't heard it from anybody else except you yet. That's something to do. That's one thing out of four things that I want to share with you. The next one is that trial reels are shown to 100% of new audience. So that's more something for me personally to look into. But like when we shoot out reels and stuff, I'll be able to use trial reels, which I don't know exactly how to yet, in order to increase our exposure. But that
I
kind of
mean, I could
go ahead.
go ahead, say what you were saying.
I was gonna say that kind of rolls into another point though that I learned is that, man, a lot of people have to really get exposed to a lot of your shorts in order to, I don't want to say this. Basically, you were saying in order for something to work well for a business, like a service-based business, you almost don't want to put all your money on shorts over longs. Like you want to put it over long, like all your money and attention, time and attention on form, long format type of videos. Because when you do that, people actually get to spend time with you. And the amount of time that they would have to spend with you over shorts is so astronomically long that it's almost not even I don't want to say not worth it because it is. It serves its own purpose. But that's kind of what inspired me. And there's a lot I'm leaving out here, but that's what kind of inspired me to want to take this format because what we do requires more trust than, hey, seeing a short about how to increase your words per minute while typing. It's like if you buy something like that, what is it going to cost? $10 for you to buy the course? That's you don't really need too much trust on that. Just see a guy, click on his profile. Oh, he types really fast because he did in one of his reels. All right, how much is the course? $5? Cool. Let me learn it. This is like people's lives that we're messing with. So it's like they need to actually look at us and go, are those the type of people I want to be associated with? And they could say, no, because they said this one thing, and that's completely fine. Maybe it's something that we find, oh, it's dumb that you're not going to work with us because of that. Like, we might find it dumb, but they might find it to be something super serious for them, and that's completely fine. Although, on the other hand, somebody might be like, yeah, I like their vibe. I like that they did this. And we might be like, what? You're going to work with us because of that? Okay, that's fine. I mean, could just be, trust us, but hey, you want to work with us because of that, and that makes you trust us more than, that's fine too. So, and basically, it's not up to us, is what I'm trying to say. So it's not like we're trying to force people to do one thing or another. Let's just be authentically ourselves, and then we'll make their judgment based off of what they want to do. And that ties into what we were talking about earlier with what Alex was saying about like sales and stuff like that. That he almost believes that not that it's not needed, but you need to be a better salesman on crappier offers. So, like, just make your offer better, and you won't have to sell as hard. So I was like, yeah, this is making sense. Um, and then the last thing was just about some sales copy stuff. Actually, I don't even want to read that because that has nothing to do with anything that you have to know about anyways, or that anybody else has to know about. So it's just confusing at that point. It's more for me, I guess.
There was a lot there.
Mm-hmm.
Like that selling on like working backwards from what I remember was Alex Hermosi selling smaller things or even selling yourself better is the skill. Being able to make a better pitch rather than assume that it's the product. Just take responsibility of the pitch. Like you have control over what you're going to say, how you're going to say it, who you're talking to, um, and whether they find it important or not. So we have to do the onus on taking the responsibility for whatever we control. And we were talking about the powers in the recall, and I'm struggling with just what you just said, but I think that it's pretty cool that I could recall that. Just thought that was interesting that we talked about that yesterday, and still it's evident in just even this conversation.
What's the powers in the recall? If you can try to explain that real quick before we get off, because I do have to go too.
Yeah, man, power in the recall simply means when people are communicating with you, when they're talking to you, they have points of interest that are heavily considered in their point of view. And so when they're talking, it's a value. And if you are able to retrieve it, if you're able to recollect that while giving them acknowledgement, hey, I understand where you're coming from. And when you're talking about this or when you're talking about that, that mentioning of whatever it is gives you a leg up. It gives you that person in a way that sets you apart from other people because they opened their heart to you and you captured that moment. And so that's the power of being able to have people be in your circle or want to communicate with you further because you're a good listener. So the power is in the recollect.
Yeah, I forgot that we did go down that rabbit hole. Because initially, I was introducing that concept because of Chris Williamson, who's saying, I think that's his last name. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but he was just basically saying that power's in the being able to recall, not the exposure. So just because something's shown to you 100 times doesn't mean you got 100 iterations of practice. That just means it was shown to you 100 times. If you try to recall what was shown to you, that's one rep. Try to recall it again, that's another rep. And so that phrase is used to remind yourself you're trying to learn something, whether it's in the conversation like you're saying, or if it's trying to learn a piece of material or
Material.
whatever.
Yeah.
Stop
Right,
trying
man.
to expose yourself to it a bunch of times because, yeah, that's going to help, obviously. But the real lever here is that the only reason why that works is because you're actually recalling the material when it goes away. So it's like you're being exposed to it and then you're using it later. That's a rep right there. And if you took away the exposure to it and you just remembered, hey, there was something that I learned yesterday or the other day. What was it? Ah, it was this. You go back and recheck and it's like, yep, I confirmed that I recalled it correctly. Okay, cool. That's one rep.
Thank you for the reminder and actually what this whole thing looks like and what it means, because what I did and what you did just now was give two sides of a coin that that mean they had the same currency, but implementation of it is going to look different.
Different lenses.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Okay. Well, anything else before we skedaddle out of here? We hit a good mark. We wanted to hit 30 minutes and we're at 41. So with the editing, probably it's going to be 30 minutes.
Yeah, there was something I wanted to add. They say I was kind of drawing a blank, but they say be ready so you don't have to get ready. I'm saying that because if we're going to be in front of this camera, I just want to limit myself and like my mental bandwidth. I have a problem with clothes. I have a problem with clothes in the sense that I do like to dress up every day. I do. I think what I'm going to do as an experiment is I'm going to wear, I'm going to wear a suit, one suit. I'm going to wear one suit for this purpose every day so that I don't have to ask myself, what am I going to wear? The shirt underneath is probably the only thing, cufflinks or anything like that, but the shirt underneath, the tie, and what I choose to wear other than that is probably the only thing I'm going to worry about. But I just don't want to keep thinking about like stuff. Thinking sucks, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Thinking sucks, and I do like looking good, and a suit is indistinguishable. So I would rather wear a suit than not and have to shuffle through clothes. So what I'm going to do is regularly wear probably two suits. And
The same time?
no, brother.
I'm just playing. Why you got two sports coats on? Nah, but
And he said Kevin Gates, man. He took Kevin Gates to no new level.
can I,
Wear two suits.
that's crazy. Can I add a perspective on that?
Go ahead, man.
I agree with you that thinking sucks, and I'm gonna tie two things in together because I think it's important. I agree. I don't want to think anymore because we do too much thinking. Honestly, we overthink so many decisions. Not me and you, people in general. And I fall victim to this a lot because I feel like I do have some form of ADHD or OCD or whatnot, whatever. In order to combat that, I wanted to also teach my son, even though he's like 3 years old, I wanted to teach him the utility of money a little bit earlier because he wants to buy things. And I don't want to just give him a whole bunch of stuff and set up his expectations. I don't want to set him up negatively. And so basically, I'm going to do 2-for-1. And every night for the past couple of nights, he's been picking out my outfit for the next day. But I've prepared because my closet is organized such that with the help of like my wife, we all know this. My closet is set up such that a 3-year-old can pick my clothes out and it still be a really good outfit. It's almost impossible for him to mess that up. And so I set him up for success. My wife set me up for success, and we set all of us up for success. I get to teach him. He gets to limit my mental bandwidth because that's why you get paid, is to help other people. That's the whole point of what money's supposed to be for. Is because you helped somebody else and you deserve it. Genuinely helped. Not like go do a chore. It's like that. Those things, I don't get paid to do my own chores. And you shouldn't. So you should get paid to help other people. That is a non-chore. So that's what he's doing. I get to think less. Everybody's happy. And so I think this kind of goes full circle with this whole conversation because in a way, that's what we're trying to do this whole time. This whole time we've been talking is how do we take things off our plate and knock 2 birds, 3 birds, 6 birds out with 1 stone by doing one event. The event in this case is clothing. It knocks 2 birds. Teaches my kid the value of money and how to earn it. Helps take off the mental bandwidth and open it up, actually. For me. Twofold, 1 event. Leverage. So I agree with you. Thinking sucks. So whatever you're doing, man, let's just make sure we keep doing it the way that we've been going, because every single day it seems like we make more leverage points without even trying, and now we're actually going to try.
Stacking skills. This is going to be a conversation that every day when we're talking about certain things, metrics, personalities, things that we're going through in business, or things that we're looking forward to, appointments, whatever. Real live event of knowing who we are.
Mm-hmm.
And how we go over our challenges and how we go over our expectations, our personal problems, our business problems. You get to see it. And Roger, if this is the route we're going, man, I'm excited to see where it goes.
You have no idea, bro. This podcast room is gonna be decked out soon enough. You're gonna see the progression, of course, but them chairs we sitting in, it is not comfortable. That table, I'm gonna have to turn it into a set of couches or something. I'm thinking about going with the couches and, maybe having a little, don't quote me on this, but having a little hookah going. Just something as decoration, something that's more comfortable, you know what I mean? That way we could do that and not have it be such a fatigue. And I like this format because we're just talking. This doesn't feel like we're doing to me at least, doesn't feel like we're doing any podcast or any content or anything like that. And that's the point, is that we want to make it so that we don't get fatigued.
Yeah. I was gonna ask if I could make a suggestion around furniture, and this is something I'd probably ask that we take out of this. But
Well,
I wouldn't mind
you want to wait until I stop it then? Because I don't want to have to edit. I'm not gonna lie to you.
live events.
Yeah. I mean, we're pretty much done anyways, but I just wanted to leave you with that.
Well, let's get up out of here, man. I mean, this is one of many, and so I'm not going to treat it as delicate and precious. This is gonna happen. And so if it happens again, when it happens again, don't expect me to cater or spoon feed. This is just me trying to get through my day, you guys watching. So we appreciate you guys for taking a look at this. Roger, anything you want to say before we head on out of here?
Nope. See y'all later.